Most people think that they're inconsistent because they lack discipline. But what if I told you that your brain is working exactly how it's supposed to? This is module 3, and it's exactly where we move from workouts, nutrition, and surface level advice into something deeper, because I don't only work with people who want to get in shape. I work with busy women, professional business owners, CEOs, and people who are trying to build something. And the problem is not always knowledge, it's the execution. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. Every decision you make throughout the day requires cognitive resources. What to eat, when to train, whether to skip it, and whether you're going to continue tomorrow. And the more decisions you make, the more your brain tries to find the ways to reduce the effort. And this is why you default back to what's familiar. This is not because you're weak. This is because your system has been undefined. A system reduces cognitive load. It turns decisions into default. And that's where consistency is actually built. So in this module, we're going to cover why consistency fails at the neurological level, how to remove decision fatigue, and how to build the right systems that works perfectly under pressure. And not only when the life is calm. Because consistency is not a personality trait, it's a system. Consistency doesn't fail because you lack of discipline, it fails because your brain feels overloaded. Now there's something most people don't understand. Your brain only has a certain capacity for decision making, and that is called decision fatigue. Every decision that you make throughout the day, what you eat, what to wear, what to reply, all this requires mental energy. By the time it comes to training or eating properly, your brain cannot make fresh decisions. You're making a decision from a depleted state, and this is where your brain chooses convenience, familiar state, and least resistance. That's why you skip the workouts, and that's why you default to the easy foods. Not because you don't care, but because your body has already done too many decisions. People who appear disciplined are not the ones who might be choosing the best decisions. They simply removed the need to choose because their routines and their systems provide that. If you're building something, your brain is already overloaded. So expecting yourself also to plan your workouts, to structure the meals, and make the right decisions when it comes to health and fitness, you are setting yourself up to failure, because that is going to be unrealistic. Consistency is not about pushing harder, it's finding the right systems that take that pressure and load off of your decision-making functioning. In this way, your brain stops working against you. Motivation feels powerful, but neurologically it's one of the least reliable drivers of your behavior. Let me break this down for you. Motivation is tied up to dopamine, and dopamine doesn't function together with consistency. It is about anticipation and novelty. And that's why you're extremely motivated when you start something new, when you start a new challenge, when you set yourself a new goal. And you feel so inspired at that point. But as soon as the novelty fades, your dopamine drops. And with that, you know what also goes? Your motivation. That's why so many people, when they start strong, and slowly, when the motivation fades, they see themselves slipping away. Because they started it with a system that has been designed to fluctuate. Now, my systems, they bypass dopamine. They rely on repetition and predictability. And your brain starts shifting from constant effort to a repetition. You fall into automatic pattern, which has been built with the right habits. And I call this the habit automation, which is extremely, extremely important. High performers don't eliminate emotions. They just don't depend on them. Their behavior is always anchored to the structure. Yes, motivation can be your trigger, but systems should be your mechanism behind it. There's no point of having all the motivation in the world if you don't have the right systems backing it all up for you. And if you want consistency, you have to have the right systems at the back end that still works even when the motivation disappears. If you continuously start and stop and start and stop, it's because you are motivated to do something, so you have this adrenaline and this dopamine rush, but you don't have the systems behind it. So yes, you start, but after the couple of weeks, everything collapses. Now, when you think about the business perspective, it works exactly the same way. When people have a new idea to create a business or to launch something, if they don't have the right systems and a plan to go ahead with it, it's only going to be an idea just for the time being until the motivation to pursue this idea slowly drifts away because there is no plan behind it. I want to talk about habits and how to build it the right way, and also why it is so important to have them. Most people, when they try to build habits, they focus on intensity instead of neurological wiring, and this is a big issue. You can't start by building hundreds of habits from day one. Why? Because simply you will feel overwhelmed and you will stop. A habit is also not something that you just repeat. It is something that your brain learns how to execute automatically. And for that to happen, 3 things need to exist: a cue, a behavior, and a reward. This is called the habit loop, and this is where most people actually go wrong. They only focus on one behavior. They say, I'm going to work out every day, but they ignore the most crucial things, which is the cue, when they're going to do it, and the reward, why my brain has to repeat it. If your brain has no fixed triggers, your brain treats it as optional. And this is exactly why vague plans don't actually work. So instead of I will train when I have time, you anchor it to a specific time and a specific sequence. And now your brain starts to recognize the pattern. This pattern becomes your habit. So the more structured your life becomes, the less energy you spend on thinking. And that's what allows you to focus on higher level decisions. So here's the thing, habits don't form because you try harder. It forms because your brain can recognize the pattern, which it can repeat without the effort. Let's be very honest, most people lose their routine when they travel because their habits are tied up to environment and not a system. Your brain associates behaviors with context. Same gym, same kitchen, same schedule. Now these act as triggers. So when you remove that environment, you remove that trigger, and the behavior with it simply disappears. This is called context-dependent behavior. And this is why your consistency drops when you travel, when you change environments, and when your schedule has sudden changes. So you need to build what I call portable systems. System that is not tied to a location. For example, fixed training duration over the location. Fixed meal structure over strict foods. Your life is dynamic, so your systems has to adapt to it and not be rigid. Rigid systems breaks under pressure. Flexible ones adapt. So that's the thing, consistency is not about controlling your environment. It's about building the systems that actually can adapt and work from anywhere. Busy people never rely on willpower. They develop their non-negotiables. A non-negotiable is not a goal, it's their minimum standard. It's something that happens regardless on their mood, schedule, or motivation. Now here's the most important part. Most people set their non-negotiable bar way too high. And this is why these non-negotiables fail. Your brain constantly resists what is overwhelming. So when you put the bar too high, and when your standard is too demanding, it creates avoidance. Your non-negotiable should be simple, achievable, and still be able to function under stress. For example, something like 30 minutes of movement, structured meals, and minimum amount of steps. And when your standards are clear, you don't waste your time and energy negotiating. You start to act. Discipline is not about doing more. It's about deciding once and not having to make constant decisions over and over again.